Yes guys, and we're back, episode 12, Barrow Road to Glory. We had a very shaky start to this season. We've got 7 massive games coming up in today's video. So, let's get into it. Welcome back lads, welcome back. Got some team news to kick things off. Barrow Rtg's finally been sold. Got just under 3 mil for him, very happy with that. He played about 30 games, got 3 goals, 3 assists. Absolutely useless. Not all of our transfers work out the way they're meant to, but his time has definitely come. Nikolai Alho has also moved on, got about 800k for him. Good servant, but he has been moved on. So, wasting no time, let's get into our first set of highlights. We've got West Ham at home. Tom Beadling comes into the starting lineup for the suspended Nathaniel Chalobah. Now, Ishan Saka got a goal in the reverse fixture earlier on this season, so I thought West Ham's tactics were going to be about keeping him quiet. Clearly, West Ham's tactics in this one were just kick the living daylights out of Tom Beadling. Early on, look, gets flattened there. Absolute disgusting tackle, only a yellow card. That should have been a red in my opinion. Next passage of play, Beadling again gets taken out, gets to the edge of the box, hits it. Not a bad effort, just a sighter. Now, I've said many times in this series, some teams, we've just got their number. West Ham, they're one of the teams, they've got ours. Went 2-0 down inside the first half an hour, boys really not showing anything in this one. Only way we were going to get back into this was a moment of magic. Somebody had to step up, stand up, be accounted for. Ishan Saka picks up the ball here, plays a little 1-2 back to Tom Beadling, skins his defender, watch this, into the top corner, what a strike that is. Tell you what, he is having the greatest season you can possibly imagine. World class strike, gets us back into the game. Coming up to the end of the first half, stoppage time was up, West Ham scored this goal, it's definitely offside. It's 100% offside, look at this, look. The player is clearly behind Nat Phillips, he's definitely offside. So, the officials were being absolutely useless, not helping us out at all. Should have had a red card early on, that goal shouldn't have counted. Don't want to be moaning about the officials, we should have just played better. But this one here, look, how is that not a red? How is that not a red card? Absolutely cripples Tom Beadling. Gone down injured, had to go off. Really not what I want to be seeing. You watch it in slow-mo, you watch his legs absolutely buckle. Look at that, look. That is disgusting. West Ham into my bad books forever now. Definitely bad blood in this one. So, at 3-1 down, the only way we're going to get back into this one was a little bit of luck. Sacco couldn't do anything with that one there. Then the resulting corner gets whipped in. We win the header off the line. Nothing was falling our way in this one. Final score was 4-1. These days are going to happen. But losing 4-1 at home, definitely got to be better than that. Looking at the player ratings, Ishan Saka got a match rating over 7. Everyone else got a rating below 7. Tom Beadling was the next highest with 6.8. And obviously he had to go off injured. It's a really poor day at the office. Then Robbie Gott's 5.9. Malcolm 5.7. Not good enough. So, injury news. Beadling out for 4 months. Done his ligaments. That is a problem. That is definitely a problem. We're going to miss his influence in the dressing room massively. Need to have our captain fit. He's not starting, but his influence is absolutely huge. 4 months basically means his season's done. Might get a few games at the end of the season if he gets back fit in time. So, after that game, Man United away. Off Ellisberg comes into the starting lineup for Matty Longstaff. Chalobah returns from his suspension. Off to Old Trafford. Big away day this one. Big away day. A 95-year-old Ronaldo, got to keep him quiet. Early doors, Malcolm on the ball here. Plays the ball down the line to Viti Rosada. He turns, keep an eye on Malcolm. He's going on a little adventure. Keep an eye on him. Gets himself into the final third. He looked well offside. Takes his time, floats across to the back post. Jack Clark attacks it. Gives us a lovely shock lead inside the first 10. He is getting very good at attacking the back post. It's a weapon that we haven't been using at all. So United are sat in 6th place at the minute. They are kind of high flying. As you can see, Mario Hutton gets into a little bit of bother here. Doesn't quite clear his lines. Rashford keeps the attack alive. Ronaldo plays it back to him. Phillips, massive mistake there. Johnston gets us out of jail. Nat Phillips could have given away a penalty, but we clear our lines eventually. Next passage of play. Sancho on the ball here. Plays it into Ronaldo. Then to Brozovic. But looks out for Rashford. Trying to keep him away. First shot gets blocked here by Hutton. Second shot blocked by Ronaldo. Third one, nothing we can do about that. So, Man United back on level terms. Moments later, Malcolm, brilliant tackle, wins the ball, keeps Sancho quiet. Watch this, look, sits him down. Bloody brilliant. I tell you what, for a 17-year-old fullback, he is definitely developing leaps and bounds. Quickly becoming one of my favourite players. Going up to the end of the first half, that effort there made Johnston make another good save. And then, moments later, United on the attack once again. They were all over us. That early goal was all we could manage. Johnston once again called into action. Backs against the wall stuff. Coming out to the hour mark, Robbie Gotts was brought off for Josh Kay. He can't get any game time at the minute. I figured this would be a good time for him to stake a claim for regular first team football. I've got to hold my hands up. Not every substitution works out the way you want it to. It was a poor choice. As soon as he brought off Gotts, United went and scored. Bruno Fernandes with that one. So we went long down the right wing. Jack Clark, good little first touch. Gets into the box unopposed. Hits it. Good save from the goalie. Resulting corner was whipped in by Jack Clark. Nat Phillips misses the header, but we've got numbers forward. Malcolm picks it up, tries to recycle possession, gives it to Reece Oxford, switches it out to Romeo Hutton. Bursting into the final third, something he doesn't ever do. Floats in a cross. Anyone on it? Ellis Bird is there. It's such a weird goal. It's such a strange goal. When you watch the replay, I don't know how on earth he has scored this. Like Wan-Bissaka's cleared it onto him. Scrappy goal. But we'll take a point at Old Trafford. That's a great result. If I got offered that before the game, I would have took it happily. Looking at the match stats, both passages of play where we got our goals, we didn't dominate the ball. I think it's fair to say we are definitely a counter-attacking team. Something we're going to have to look at addressing for next season is getting somebody who can hold on to the ball, because we've got to start dominating possession. We don't ever do it really. We're always playing on the counter-attack. And for certain games, especially ones we're favourites in, we need to be in control of the game. So taking a break from the league, it's that big FA Cup fixture against Leicester. Now, we've got history with these lot, massive history with these lot. I made a couple of changes to the starting lineup. Angus Guthrie comes in at left back for Kurt Malcolm. Not because I've dropped him for form, just because I want to see what Guthrie's about, give him a chance. Brandon Rose comes in for Viti Rosada. Jack Clark gets moved over to the left-hand side. Now, we are definitely developing rivalries with certain clubs in this career mode. Fulham, definitely got a rivalry with them. Leicester, 100% got a rivalry with them. As it stands, our head-to-head record is 1 win apiece. Early doors, Leicester on the attack there. They end up having a loose pass. Robbie Gotts sets a tone nice and early. Amazing little run. Beats his defender, gets into the box. He's got Saka open, goes alone. Good save. Nice early start, what wanted to see him. Angus Guthrie at left back made a brilliant name for himself. Instantly a fan hero. Absolutely flattens James Maddison. He was not happy about that. Fella, he's absolutely crippled him. Only gets away with a yellow card there. Moments later, James Maddison then set up a goal for Leicester to go into the lead, but the lino flagged it as offside. Maddison was absolutely livid. That lino down that side is clearly a Barrow fan, because he's not given a red card for Guthrie, and he's flagged an offside there. Anyway, moments later, Robbie Gotts, he was our main outlet, had one shot saved, second shot saved, Saka with a rebound. I don't know what it is with our lads missing open goals and headers, and that's definitely got to be a goal. We scored so many better chances than that. Anyway, going into the second half, Cardo Pereira here tees up the Leicester striker. Johnston makes a good save at his near post. Going straight down the other end, Brandon Rose plays it into Ishan Sako. He rides 2 tackles there, plays it into Nathaniel Chalobah. Then he plays it into Robbie Gotts. Quick little pass. Sako runs wide with it. Thinks about shooting. Checks back, does the right thing. Chalobah on a plate. That's got to go in. Absolute sitter. So with 20 minutes to go, a whole bunch of subs were made. Ellis Bird, Rosada, Josh Kay all getting brought on. We then work the ball brilliantly down the right hand side here. Hutton, Viti, Chalobah. He's playing a little triangle. Viti's first involvement just runs at the Leicester defence. Don't know what's going to hit him. He then plays it through to Ishan Sako. He gets in, shooting opportunity. Another good save. We don't often have games where both teams don't score. That effort there almost went in. But unfortunately, this one was finishing 0-0. So we were going to a replay. So the boys coming back to Holker Street under the lights, always special. In the rain, Brandon Rose, Jack Clark keep their places in the front line. Just switch what wings they're on. Joaquin Ibanez comes in for Robbie Gotts, and other than that, we remained unchanged. Now, with this one, having had a 0-0 in the previous game, it was inevitable that this game was going to explode. And I'm going to tell you right now, before we even get into the highlights, it was carnage. Absolute carnage. I think that's our second 0-0 ever in the entire series. I think we've had barely any of them. This one more than made up for no goals in the previous game. Early doors, Leicester took a lead here. David Neres with that one. Then moments later, Moise Keane made it 2. So after a very shaky 20 minutes, the boys had to regroup. We had to go again. Joaquin Ibanez on the ball here. Plays it to Nathaniel Chalobah. Carrying the ball about 20 yards up the pitch. Plays into Sako in the pocket. He's waiting for the runner. He slips through spaghetti arms. Ibanez goes and gets us back into the game. 2-1 at this point. That is how you repay your faith coming into the starting lineup. Goes and grabs himself a goal. Lovely to see it. Then Ibanez, next passage of play, sends the ball out to the right hand side to Romeo Hutton. Carries it forward about 20 yards here. Does the right thing. Doesn't lose it. Gives it to Sako. Again in the pocket. Carries it forward. Slips through Matty Longstaff. Gets into the box. Hits it. Cross the goalie. Schmeichel no chance. Back on level terms. After those 2 quick fire goals, it was quite clear Leicester were on the ropes. Sako again in the pocket. We were all over him. He then played through Longstaff. Again, this time he goes near post. Puts us into the lead. What a signing he has been. 19.5 mil, and he's paying it back with every performance he's putting in. 2 goals in this one for him. Going into the second half, Moise Keane annoyingly grabbed an equaliser to make it 3-3. So, it's double substitution time. On comes Ellis Bird, on comes Josh Kay, Angus Guthrie, another good performance from him. Coming up to stoppage time in this one. Leicester on the attack. trying to hold off, just don't want to concede a late goal. Johnston makes a great save there. This one was going to extra time. So early on in extra time, again, Ishan Sako, Matty Longstaff, this time turns creator. Sako makes no mistakes with that one, makes it 4-3. 7-goal thriller. Leicester players sink to the floor. What a night at Holker Street. What a night, honestly. Magic of the FA Cup, you cannot beat it. Honestly, cannot beat it. So, next passage of play, Leicester on the attack here. A little bit of tiki-taka. David Neres, watch this pass. Oh, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant pass. Leicester go and make it 4-4. This time it was our players sinking to the floor. Honestly, this game was end-to-end heartbreaking stuff. So, kind of to the end of the first half of extra time, David Neres again on the ball, causing us all kinds of problems. That there, great double save by Sam Johnston. This one was going all the way to penalties. Our first penalty shootout in this series. The 5 that I went with, Sako, Clark, Lamb, Longstaff and VT Rosada. After that, it is going to be a lottery. So, Sako was first and he slotted his away nicely. Jamie Vardy was next, sent his into the stands. Jack Clark was next, they made no mistakes, 2-0 at this point. Liam Delap was next and Johnston saves. Thomas Lamb was third on the list, but Schmeichel was more than a match for it. So, David Neres with a chance to get Leicester back into it, sent his into the top corner. Matty Longstaff, who'd already scored twice, couldn't get past Schmeichel a third time. So Leicester had a chance to level things up in the shootout. Johnston couldn't get there. So 2-2 in the shootout, 4-4 the final score. Viti Rizardo needed to score this one to keep us in it. He goes bottom right, scores it. So Schmeichel falls to the floor. It was all down to Sam Johnston. Sam Johnston with a chance to put his name into folklore of Barrow history. All he had to do was save Pereira's penalty. Pereira steps up and Johnston saves. Penalty shootout 3-2. What a famous result. That is one of the craziest games that we've had in this entire series. Johnston, an instant legend now. What a performance from him. Saving 2 penalties in that shootout. We go through to the next round, but you'll have to wait and see who we got in that. So, next game of the video, welcoming Spurs and Harry Kane. Now, we know what happened last time we played these lot. It was basically Harry Kane versus us. So, went back with the starting lineup, of course, as you can see. So, in order to play well in this one, we knew from the previous game, crossing was going to be important. Keeping Harry Kane quiet would be exactly that. Ishan Sako leaves one of them nice and early, wins the ball. Lovely stuff. Gots on the ball here. Completely skips over Harry Kane's challenge. Counter-attack well and truly on. Jack Clark grabbed the goal against them in the reverse fixture. He then broke through, beating the lines, gets into the box, one-on-one. Goes against another one against his former club, coming back to haunt them again. What a side he's turned out to be as well. Got him on a free, can't stop scoring at the minute. But, of course, Harry Kane, exactly the same as the previous game. Look, on the edge of the box here, plays a little 1-2. We get dragged over. Kane goes and gets very lucky to get that one to go in. So, 1-1 at this point. Spurs' fullbacks nowhere to be seen. Crossing territory right on. Viti Rizardo goes and gets another header to his tally. I don't know how he scores so many headers. He's so short. He's like 5'0". Scoring headers. Unbelievable. So 2-1 at this point. Rizardo then got absolutely flattened. We had a free kick 25 yards out. Thought about shooting. Laid it off. Longstaff smacks it. Lloris with a good save. Coming up to the hour mark. Nice and completely in control. Rizardo then releases Kirk Malcolm on the overlap. Gets into the box in the final third. Beats his defender. He's got to pick someone out. He picks out Jack Clark to make it 3-1. Jack Clark bagging a brace against his former team. He loves playing against these lot. Absolutely loves it. Kirk Malcolm has done brilliantly there. Absolutely brilliantly. Spurs did grab one to make it 3-2, but at no point in this game were we under threat. We were completely in control. They were just launching hopeless through balls. As you can see, 10 minutes to go. Joaquin Ibanez on the ball here. Switches it out to Josh Kay. Both substitutes getting involved. Keep an eye on Joaquin Ibanez, middle of the pitch. Longstaff then plays it down to Viti Rizardo. Gets into the final third. Longstaff, one more to Spaghetti Arms. Goes and makes it 4-2. We'll take another 3 points to our tally. Spurs completely shell-shocked. So, penultimate game of the video, off to the Amex. Brandon Rose comes in for Viti Rizardo on the left wing. Now, I figured this game was the perfect game for Brandon Rose to finally make a name for himself. Because this is it. I'm giving him one last chance. If he doesn't play well, he's getting sold. Because I'm just waiting for him to finally do something good. Coming out to the end of the first half, it was a very drab affair. Sako hit this volley straight at the goalie, and Nat Phillips leaps the highest, powers that one in, getting goals from corners. Prawn Sandwich Brigade absolutely hate that one. Love to see it. Take a nice lead just before the end of the first half. Now, this goal here, we're going to come back and do a goal analysis on it. But Ishan Sako plays it to Matty Longstaff, then one more to Brandon Rose, and he finally repays my faith. Gets a brilliant goal. He's had this celebration stored up in the locker for a very, very, very long time. Hopefully, that strike can give him the confidence to start doing that when he comes off the bench now. Because that's all he's going to be. He's going to be a squad rotation player. Reece Oxford wanted to make the game interesting, gave away a penalty, which was Panenka's into the far corner. Johnson could do nothing about that one. This effort here with 9 minutes to go should have been the equaliser. Graham Potter definitely knew how important that was. On the replay, it is millimetres wide. So, at 2-1, I brought on George Williams, did the tactic that we did in the Championship a couple of times. Everyone go forwards, we're not going to play out from the back. Sam Johnston, launch it as far as possible. It's a great goal kick. George Williams, chests it, holds it up. He's then waiting for the runner. He slips through Jack Clark. It's ugly football. But there's nothing ugly about that finish. That is delightful finish. This guy's confidence is through the roof at the minute. Truly on fire. Form of his life. It's a gorgeous finish. Absolutely silences the Amex. Cannot beat it. Goes and secures another 3 points for us. On we go. So, just want to go to the goal analysis time. Matty Longstaff occupying the number 8 role here. Now, he's going to make that run that we've seen Tom Beedlin do when he's been playing in this position. Running late into the box, into that number 10 role. Now, the key thing about this attack is not necessarily the run that he makes, because he knows when Ishan Saka picks it up, he's going to turn and look for him. It's this moment just here. When he scans over his shoulder, he's looking at Brandon Rose's position. He wants to know what's going on behind him. He gets a picture in his head. Because as a midfielder, if his first touch isn't good and he can't get the shot off himself, he's got to be able to create a chance for someone else. So, he makes that run into that area that we know he's going to do. Saka's played the pass as expected. Now, his first touch is decent, and the goalie makes a subtle little movement. He probably could have shot at the near post, but does the right thing because the defender gets over, puts it on a plate for Brandon Rose in a much better position, who then smacks a wicked shot into the bottom corner. That is a goal that just epitomises how we play. The number 8 running into the box. If you can't get the shot off, lay it off to someone who can. Matty Longstaff, great from him. So final game of the video, we got Brentford away in the FA Cup, fantastic draw. So I thought this would be the perfect game to bring a whole bunch of changes in. Gallardo comes into the net, Avila, Hendricks both make their first starts. Rosada and Clark keep their place, George Williams starts up top, Ibanez into the centre mid position. But the key thing about this game was that Robbie Gotts was with the armband leading out the boys for the first time in this series. He's made over 150 appearances at this point. I said back in episode 1 we would build a team around him, and he's never set the armband yet, so it's a very special game for him. Hopefully the young boys out there can look to him and have a good performance to go with it. So Jack Clark obviously took the headlines beforehand, 3 goals in his last 3, but of course the talk of the town is about Robbie Gotts. It's a day he'll never forget, leading his boys out in the FA Cup under the lights. Doesn't get much bigger than this for him. Early doors, Jan Hendricks on the ball here, gets into the final third, cuts back, tries to flick out a pass, gets very lucky, it goes straight back to him, tries to keep the attack alive, somehow he finds Jack Clark, one more to Matty Longstaff, gets into the box, hits it, it's deflected, it should be Longstaff's goal, but it's come off Jack Clark, he can't stop scoring at the minute, it's come off like his stud underneath his boot, doesn't care, 1 to his tally, he'll take that happily. So, 1-0 in the first 20 minutes, we will play nice football, Reece Oxford on the ball here, switches out to the left back position to Kirk Malcolm, about to put the afterburners on. That is disgusting. That is a truly disgusting tackle. Straight red for... I'm not going to try and say that name. But early shower for you, son. Off you go. Disgusting challenge. I'm just glad there was no injury that followed that one. But of course what happens, every time a team goes down to 10 men, they start playing better. Brentford went in equalised 10 minutes later. And then in the second half, they should have been in front. Paco Gallardo makes a brilliant save onto the crossbar here. And then the rebound just goes wide. Going down the other end, Robbie Gotts was denied by the crossbar and the post. This would have been world class if that had gone in. Very unlucky there. But then the resultant goal kick was launched long. Reece Oxford comes out of nowhere, wins the header. Ibanez picks it up, rolls it to Matty Longstaff. You can see Vita Rosada over his shoulder, picks him out, smacks it near post. He's trademarking those finishes. He's done that so many times since we've signed him. Simon Menendez came off the bench and grabbed the goal. A very complete easy tap-in. Nice for him to open his account for Barrow. And then Brentford lost their heads. Another red card, down to 9 men. Again, very glad there was no injury. So, playing against 9 men, 3-1 up. It was stat pad in time for any one of the boys. Robbie Gotts went and grabbed himself 2 more goals to his tally. Perfect result. Perfect day. Doesn't get much better than this, lads. Into the next round of the FA Cup. But that's everything for these highlights. Let's see how we're getting on. So lads, with all of these games done in January, transfer window is shut. We didn't make any January transfer signings, which is for the first time in the series. 1.2 billion was spent. We didn't spend a penny. Hopefully next year, when we've got some more money, we can actually make some transfers in January as well. Now, having one eye on the future, obviously looking at the next crop of youth players we could be bringing through, there's one player that stands out massively. It's Francisco Andrade. He says he can play 10, it says he can play 8, but I see him as more of a 10 because he's 5'7". I don't really want a 5'7" centre mid. I want him more of a 10. He's right-footed, got a 4-star weak foot, high attacking work rate, He's got a solid player attribute, which is always good. And next season, when we promote him, that does mean we're going to have to get rid of a midfielder, because we can't have like 12 midfielders in the squad. We don't need that many. So keep that in mind, because we will have to say goodbye to somebody next season. Now, we're not going to look at the player stats, we're going to look at the player contracts this time round. George Williams is somehow our 7th highest paid player. He's on 13k a week, which is just not right. I don't know how his agent has swung this. Now, we're going to lose Mamadou Sakho this season. We know that because he's retiring, so we're gaining the wages there. We could keep George Williams, so that way that pays for that, or we could ship him out. I'm not going to lie, I'm leaning more towards shipping him out. He's one of our day ones. It's going to be a sad day to let him go, but I think this is it. I think this is his time has come, because every time we're down in a game, if I look to the bench, I don't want to bring him on for Sakho because I just know he's not going to do anything. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Is it his time to finally get moved on? I think so, but obviously I'll let you guys decide that one for me. So main event time, lads. Main event, 23 games in. We are sat in 11th. 31 points, 9 wins, 4 draws, 10 losses. Scored 54, conceded 48. We are 11 points above the drop. I'd like to say that we're obviously 9 points off the magic number 40. I think we're safe now. I think we've done it. 8 points off 5th. I'm not saying we can get 5th. I'm not saying we can get anything like that. But a top half finish. We can definitely aim for a top half finish this season, which would be a monumental achievement, considering we've just been promoted. But we've got a long way to go. We've got a lot of hard games coming up. Now, we will be going to the end of the season in the next video. A lot of news. We're going to have a lot of squad changes as well. The squad's going to get massively tested. We've also got our FA Cup journey. We're going to keep going. I want to get a trophy this year. It was one of our objectives back on day one, and we haven't hit it yet. Our next round draw, you'll see what we got in that in the next video. It's winnable. It's definitely winnable. But that is where we're going to wrap up this video, lads. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. The next video will be coming out on Friday at 4 PM. I'm trying to get a little bit consistent. Mondays and Fridays at 4 PM. But if not, I'll always let you guys know. So, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.